and yelled until other slaves stopped her. Then she tried ending herself and failed. You read about the trial in the advertisement? Yes, Thomas said, acquitted for insanity. You can see why. Dyer gestured to her. I studied Dorcas. I couldn't begin to empathize with what she'd endured. Our lives were too different, but I pictured myself undergoing similar hardships. I hated the feeling of events beyond my control shaping my life, and she confronted this at its maximum extent. To be a slave, worse, a slave who'd known freedom and had it stripped away, to know her children's fate. What spirit could withstand such torture? What society asked to find out? She isn't insane, I said. Her action was a response to slavery's character. Dyer snorted. Believe what you want.
I love that comment that her actions are a reflection of slavery's character, not her own. I think that very few people in this country really know the subject of slavery well. Our founding fathers, and you do bring this out in the book, many of them wanted to start this country without slavery. And there were reasons. They tried to lay groundwork so that future people could use the groundwork they laid. But they didn't feel that they could end it as they started the new country. Can you explain why?
Sure. So, again, this is a very complicated and divisive issue, and so I cannot summarize all of this in a minute or two. But the basic reason is that so much of the South was not eager to sort of relinquish their slaves during the founding, that it's very unlikely that the Constitution would have been ratified if the Constitutional Convention, if the founders at the convention tried to implement that in 1787. And a lot of the founders, including George Washington and Jefferson at the time, sort of made this assumption or prediction that slavery would essentially disintegrate on its own. Mm-hmm. It was in decline during the Revolution, and so they took this gamble that they wanted the country to be a republic. They wanted it to be a union of the 13 states, and as we said, most of them wanted slavery to cease to exist. So they sort of took two of the three that they could get and placed a bet that slavery would just sort of die out on its own. And as we know, that bet did not work.